Isn't it always a much better day when your team has won a game of football? It's absolutely fantastic. It really, really is. Welcome to Liverpool 3, Tottenham 1. And I have to say, it, brilliant performance by Liverpool. Really, really good performance by Liverpool. With whatever has happened to Fabinho, whatever's happened there before the game, and now what is going on with Joel Matip with his ankle, we went through and put on a fantastic performance in this game. We really put on a great performance in this game. I was so impressed. And I'll be honest with you, when that lineup got announced and it was announced that Fabinho was nowhere near the squad, I was worried. I was really worried because he's been such a mainstay as one of our, centre backs while Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez and that are out. And obviously Joel Matip isn't always the fittest of players, which I've said in videos before this about his injury record and such like that, and you can't keep him fit for multiple games, and that has obviously proved correct by bringing him back, and he had to go off injured, and Nat Phillips replaced him. But before we get into any of that, please do feel 3-1, exactly. That's exactly what it was. Please do feel free to get your comments in the comment section below as well about this game, because it was fantastic. It was brilliant. And I was very, very impressed with Liverpool. Just in general. Now, I'm going to go in and look at the stats first. Just the stats that we got over here on the left-hand side. Should have that on your screen as well, which we do indeed. Fantastic. Much better in terms of everything. We normally dominate possession, and to be fair, we look at the first half, we did. We dominated possession. Second half, they actually dominated it against us. It switched a little bit. But in terms of what I find impressive here, we dominated possession in the first half, had more shots, more on target as well, and we were very dominant in everything else that we did, in my opinion. That's how I viewed the game. We go into the second half, we're not as dominant in possession, but look at the chances that they had. Look at it. No big chances. No counter-attacks. No counter-attack shots. No shots inside the box. No corner kicks. No blocked shots. No shots off target. One shot they had in the entire second half, yet they had more possession than us. And I'm reading that right. That is, yeah. They had more possession than us in the second half. One shot on target. We had, again, 7 shots. 3 on target this time. 4 off target this time in the second half. Whereas that was much reversed in the first half. But we had the same amount of shots. We had some good chances as well. 3 big chances in the first half. Apparently 1 big chance in the second half, yet we scored 2 goals in the second half as well. But a fantastic performance overall by Liverpool. Let's have a look at our lineup here as well. Obviously, Alisson in goal. Trent Alexander-Arnold. Joel Matip started the game. Obviously came off at half time. And Nat Phillips replaced him there. Henderson, again. Whenever a website like this gives people what I consider to be low marks, like a 6.7, a 6.6 over here for these two, I don't think that represents what they did in the game. If someone just looks at the stats like that, they'll turn around and say, oh, Andy Robertson and Jordan Henderson had a crap game, didn't they? No, they didn't. They were solid. They did what they had to do. They worked very, very hard for the team, and they were absolutely brilliant at doing so as well. The whole team, on the whole, was very, very good. Thiago was a little bit quiet. We will say that. But that's absolutely fine. That's not a problem, because we went out there, we won the game, we dominated the game, and we were very, very worthy of our win. We were fantastic. And I was so worried about coming up against this Tottenham team, because it can be such a juggernaut. Heung-min Son and Harry Kane combine very, very early on. Thankfully, Heung-min Son was classed or seen to have been offside, but I'll be totally honest with you. The angles I looked at that at, I'm still not entirely sure whether Heung-min Son was fully offside. I'll obviously take it. Totally, of course I will. I'll absolutely, yes, Heung-min Son, totally offside. I'll 100% take that all day long. But I'm not entirely sure whether he was. I haven't seen like a dead on, like down the line angle of I think it was Mane or someone else. Who was it? I can't actually remember. It might have been Trent actually, was the guy that was the furthest closest to playing him onside, and it actually was classed as offside. So we got off lucky there. Tottenham actually got off lucky as well in the like within 2 minutes, where Trent Alexander-Arnold, he basically set the tone for the game, in my opinion. With the ball he played up forward, Mane chests it down, Salah then passes it through to Mane. Mane's through on goal, left foot, and it just goes wide. But a very, very early, moment of confidence where you're just like, okay, these guys are up for it. These guys are up for it. I remember a Liverpool fan at work yesterday said to me, "Oh, what do you reckon the score's going to be tonight? 3-0 Spurs." And I was like, "No, honestly, I think Liverpool will be up for this." And they proved that right. They really, really did. They really impressed me. Really, so good. We get into nearly half time, and Mane puts a ball across the box for for anybody that was going to be there. It kind of, in real time, it looked like it was a bit of a nothing ball. And what I mean by that, a nothing ball, the way it bobbled, like it looks like Mane's mishit it, and the way it bobbled, you're just expecting either the defender to clear it, get a foot to it, or Hugo Lloris to come out and claim the ball, and Bobby Firmino wouldn't have even had a chance to put it in the back of the net. However, what seemed to happen was massive, massive miscommunication between whoever the defender was, can't remember who it was, and Lloris. Lloris came forward, and then he pulled back, and then tried to come forward again. By that time, and that had happened, the ball's already right through to Bobby Firmino, puts it in the back of the net. Now, apparently, and this is apparent, I haven't seen anything official. Well, the only thing that I have seen is that apparently Serge Aurier decided to pack his bags and go home at half time because he was getting told he was coming off, which, whatever. There was probably worse players on the pitch than Serge Aurier, to be honest with you. But something apparently kicked off in Tottenham's dressing room. That's literally all I've heard, all I've read at half time, and an absolute inquest between a lot of the players had happened due to the defensive mistakes for our opening goal. We come in to the second half, and it was Mane had curled a shot, like a low-driven sort of shot, but curled it along the floor. Hugo Lloris gets a hand to it, but palms it straight out into the path of Trent Alexander-Arnold, and it's bouncing a little bit in the air. Trent Alexander-Arnold just puts his foot through it and just bangs it right in the back of the net. Fantastic goal. Fantastic goal. It had shades of last year when we beat Leicester 4-0. That was this type of Trent Alexander-Arnold performance. It was absolutely magnificent from him. Very, very impressive. Again, a couple of minutes later, though, Højbjerg. What is it with Tottenham midfielders scoring bangers against Liverpool? I'll never forget Victor Wanyama scoring an absolute thundercracker against us. Like, I think it was in that 2-2 game, which shouldn't have been 2-2, like 2-3 years ago. And yeah, he got on the end of a ball, hit it first time, and it was an absolute peach of a goal. Fantastic goal. And you just look at it, you're like, oh, get in, we're 2-0. Oh, it's 2-1. The anxiety starts to creep back in. Obviously, the change has been made between Joel Matip and Nat Phillips. Then we go into about maybe 10 minutes later, maybe a little bit less than 10 minutes later, and Salah puts the ball in the back of the net absolutely fantastically. I didn't see anything wrong with it because I felt that whatever happened with Bobby Firmino and his arm and all that lot, I thought it was a little bit too further back in the initial play that it wouldn't be classed as that attacking phase of play. It wouldn't be given as a handball, but it was given as a handball, whether we agree with it or not. It is what it is, but it didn't matter because 7 to 8 minutes later, Trent Alexander-Arnold, going down that right-hand side, just looks up once. I'm pretty sure it was once. Just looks up once. And absolutely perfect, picture-perfect cross. Like, from deep. To the point where Sadio Mane just had to have a little bit of a jog. Just a little bit of a jog. A little bit of a jog. And just hit it in this time with his left foot. And absolutely banged it in. Completely deleted Tottenham's defence completely. And 3-1. We're able to then sit out the rest of the game and just sort of control it. Let them have possession. And just let them deal with however they wanted to. They weren't able really to trouble us too much. Couple of key things in here that I think went in our favour. Harry Kane going off at half time, injured. Jose Mourinho's blaming Thiago for one of his ankles. but also there was Harry Kane had tried to do his manoeuvre where he looks back at a defender, looks behind him, and then he tries to back into them and jump, and he twisted his ankle. That's Harry Kane's fault. That is also karma. He has injured and hurt players doing that exact same manoeuvre that gets him a free kick. Doesn't get the other player because he's jumping over them, but for some reason, he always gets a free kick. This time, he's injured himself. He went off at half time. Jose Mourinho saying he's going to be out injured possibly for 2 to 3 weeks, maybe longer. He doesn't know. What can I say? I got no sympathy. Sorry, I don't. You go out and you try and do something like that, it doesn't always work out for you. Other thing that went in our favour, I think, and if I just scroll down a little bit, was when 81st minute, okay, we've just made it like 3-1 about 15 minutes earlier. 15? Yeah, 10, 15, yeah. 15 minutes earlier, they decide to take Bergwijn off and put Gareth Bale on. You would put a lot more fear into that Liverpool back line if you put Lucas on. Because Lucas carries a very good pace threat against our back line. A back line that was makeshift by that point. Obviously, Andy Robertson, Trent, fantastic. Alisson as well. But Henderson's midfielder, playing well in defence as well, not criticising him whatsoever. And Nat Phillips coming in at half-time as well. So you would have thought, bring Lucas Moura on. He's going to give you a lot more pace. I don't know what they expected Eric Lamela to do in place of Harry Kane. So, in my mind, and I'm not Jose Mourinho, I'm not a manager, but what I would have looked to have possibly done, at half-time, you have to take Harry Kane off. Put Gareth Bale or Lucas on at that point, and then bring one or the other on later on. Then you've got much more of a goal-scoring threat, because Lamela's not really a goal-scoring threat, in my opinion. That's just my opinion as well. And I'm not entirely sure what the whole purpose was of bringing Harry Winks on for Serge Aurier. If you were wanting another defender, you had two other defenders here in Sanchez and Alderweireld. But hey, I don't care, because Liverpool went out and won the game, and I was so impressed. Two players for Liverpool impressed me the most. And they're pretty obvious. In Sadio Mane, I felt was so dangerous and actually deserved more goals. I felt that his performance was just absolutely fantastic. If he'd have scored that one in the first 2 minutes, the man would have been man of the match hands down. Like, hands down, would have been absolutely man of the match. Probably is man of the match out of all the forward players, not just because of the score ratings on here, but he was just absolutely magnificent. The rest of the front three were very good as well. They really were very good. Very impressed with everyone. But Trent Alexander-Arnold, man, when he's on it, this team runs. And if you know what I mean by that saying, what I basically mean is, Trent Alexander-Arnold, when he's in that sort of form, and he's picking balls out left, right, and centre, and his accuracy and his vision is totally 100% on it, which it pretty much was in this game, the rest of the team just purrs like a Rolls Royce. The rest of the team just absolutely, in front of the back line, the rest of that team just works. It just works. Trent Alexander-Arnold, man of the match, hands down. But very impressed by the entire team. Really, very impressed as well. And that's really all I can say. I'm so impressed and I'm so happy that we managed to get that. We have another big game coming up on Sunday. Be doing a preview for that one as well. Do feel free to look out for that one as it's coming as well. And another video going to talk about centre-backs as well, because obviously we're in a little bit of a situation right now, but we're not going to focus on that right now. All we can look at this moment in time is that we're back fourth in the table. I just want you to look at goals, the goals column here, which we are just about here. So the goals column, at the moment, we have scored the most in the league. We've also conceded some of the fewest. Man City have got a very good defence this season. They've actually scored the definite fewest. But we're doing well. We are doing well at the moment. Well, let me rephrase that. We've had a very good result against Tottenham. We now need to use this result to kick on. Regardless of the fact that we are short on players, in terms of defence, and we most likely will be seeing Jordan Henderson play at centre back for the foreseeable future until either a Fabinho or a Joel Matip comes back, or if Liverpool go out and do the unthinkable and actually sign another player. We will see what happens with all of that sort of stuff, but I'm very impressed with what we've done right now. We have still, I think I've missed out the points bit here. We're on 37 points, Man United are on 40. We're not far away. We're definitely not down and out in this title race, but for me, my focus is still purely on top four right now. And maybe I'm borrowing that from Jurgen Klopp, but take one goal, one step at a time. Let's not look and shoot for the title before we've actually secured something like top four. Let's do that, because that's going to be the sensible thing to do, and it actually gives you something a little bit more. I don't know why this is refreshed. Fantastic. But yeah, I don't know why. As I say, I don't want us to be like overreaching, too far. You don't want to run before you can walk. Let's secure top four first. At whatever point we can do that, because the points are so close. West Ham are 2 points behind us as well, and we play them at the weekend, and it's going to be interesting to see how we can line up in that one. It totally depends on the fitness of Joel Matip. I was going to say Joe Gomez then. If only. Never mind. We're going to enjoy this one anyway. West Ham preview will be coming out. It will be up and uploaded on Saturday. It's going to be recorded on Friday, probably before any of Jurgen Klopp press conference and stuff like that as well. So it's going to be totally a random sort of starting 11 of what we're going to pick and stuff like that as well. But hey, please do feel free to drop a like on this video if you have enjoyed it. I certainly enjoy it whenever we win, and I'm pretty sure that you do as well. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. Please do have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of the day, and hopefully, fingers crossed, a great weekend ahead of us. Thank you once again, and I'll catch you later.